All right, so we're going to talk about today the metric system. We're going to start off learning what the base units for the metric system are. These should be familiar to you, but just in case, we're going to go through them once more. When we refer to them as a base unit, we talk about units without prefixes. And we'll get into what the prefixes are on the next slide. So the unit for mass is a gram, and we abbreviate it with a lowercase g. The unit for volume is a liter, as in the 2-liter pop. Liter is the only metric unit that is capitalized. Length, we use a meter, abbreviation M. Time is in seconds, not hours, not minutes, but seconds. And the abbreviation for a second is just a plain S. Now temperature has two units that we could possibly use. These units don't even use prefixes. So we have degree C, which is Celsius, and capital K. No degree sign with this one, and this is the Kelvin scale. The Kelvin scale is an absolute scale, which means there are no negative values. Like the absolute values, this would also be all positive values. And it's just a shift of the Celsius scale. So these main units, mass, volume, length, and time, are ones we attach prefixes with. Now a prefix with the metric system, all we're doing is moving the decimal place. So all of these are multiples of 10, which is why the metric system is very useful for us. You don't even have to have a calculator. So here we go. Here is our units for the metric system, and you'll have a handout for this tomorrow to put into your notes. So our first unit is mega, capital M. Mega is 10 to the 6th, or a million. So this is talking about very large amounts. Now you'll see that there's two sections that don't have any units whatsoever. And that's because there's no prefixes involved. That would be 10 to the 5th power, 10 to the 4th power. We just put them there just so that we know we need to move our decimal place for those spots. We just don't have any prefixes that we associate with them. Next one comes kilo. That's a lowercase k, and that's 1,000, or 10 to the 3rd. Hecto is H, 10 to the 2nd, or 100. Deca, D-E-K-A, or D-E-C-A, or D-E-C-K-A, depending on what your previous teachers learned. They have a multitude of spellings. Deca is the only prefix that has 2-letter abbreviation, so it's a D and an A. Our base units, grams, meters, liters, that would be no prefix. And then we're going to start going where our units get really small. These are all decimal places. So deci, which is just a lowercase d. They look very similar to deca, but just one letter abbreviation. We have centi, C, milli, M, and once again we see there's 2 spaces. Again, that's because we don't have any prefix that are associated with those. The next unit we get down to is micro. Micro looks like a U with a little tail at the beginning. It's the Greek letter for M. We skip once again. And our last unit, our smallest unit, is the unit nano, which is 1/1,000,000,000. So to move and convert in the metric system, we're going to need to know the order of these prefixes. And we move and we count our decimal places by how many spots we move, which is why we need some of those empty staircase steps. It's because we need to move our decimal place that way. So if we're moving to a smaller unit, so let's say we're going from deca to milli, we count how many times we move. So I'm going to start at the top of my stairs. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I move my decimal place 4 places to the right. And it's just like you're going down the steps. Now let's say I wanted to go from hecto to mega. So I'm going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to count again, but I'm going to go up the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So I'm going to move 4 places again, but this time I'm moving to the left. Okay? So you need to have these memorized. It's part of your test. I'm not going to give you these. You got to have them memorized, and we'll be practicing with these a lot. So let's try some examples, and I'm going to write this out in a different way. So I'm going to write this out as a straight line. So we have mega. We had 2 places in our staircase. Kilo, hecto, deca, DA. All of our base units we'll write as a big B. Deci, centi, milli, 2 places. Micro, 2 places. Nano. Okay, so here's our first example. How many km, okay, there's 2 letters there, are equivalent to 14m? All right, so 14m is what we're going to start with. Now, what is an m? An m, just a plain m, means meters, which is our base unit. Okay, so that means we don't have a prefix with it. In order to have a prefix, you need at least 2 abbreviations. So K is the prefix for kilo, and then we have our unit for length again, meter. Okay, so here we go. Change pen colors. I'm starting at a base unit. So I'm starting at meters. I'm going to km. So here we go. Base. You always want to start. Don't count it. 1, 2, 3. So I'm moving 3 places to the left. So if we start with 14, our decimal point is after the 4. 1, 2, 3 places. It's going to look kind of like what we did when we were converting into scientific notation. I have a little scoop that doesn't have any numbers, so I'm going to put a 0 there. I'm just going to rewrite this to make it look nice and pretty. 0.014, and then I put my new unit, km. Okay, and that's all you have to do. We have to count, we have to scoop, and then rewrite. So let's try it with a different number this time. So how many micrometer are equivalent to 17 centimeters? So again, we're going to start where it says 17 cm. So we're going to go from cm to micrometer. Okay, sorry. Interrupted. Let's go back. All right, so we were at centimeters going to micrometers. So let's erase what I did last time. So this time I'm going to start at a prefix. I'm going to start at centi. So here's centi. You can do it from the bottom if you need to. 1. And I have to hit both of those blanks in between. So that's 2, 3, 4. All right, so here's 17. This time I'm going to move to the right 4 times. Milli, blank, blank, micro. I'm going to replace all of those empty scoops with zeros. So my final answer is 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a comma in there to make it look nice, and then my new unit is micrometer. All right, so let's do it with one more. One more. Here we go. And I lost my little key, so we'll rewrite it. M blank blank K H D A base D C M blank blank micro blank blank nano. Get into the habit of writing that. All right, so this time we're going to start with 94 mm. We have a capital M, little m. So the capital M is our prefix, the little m is your unit. So we're going 2 mega from milli. So this is a long distance. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 places, all to the left. All right, so I'm going to leave myself some room when I do this one. My decimal point again comes after the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All filled in with zeros. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we write things in scientific notation. Okay, so we have 9, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 6, decimal point, mega, make sure it looks like a capital letter, meter. Okay, so this is where we're going to stop for today. Take a few moments, maybe go back and practice these on your own without watching me do them. Give yourself a few new units to practice with, and this is what we're going to start with. I hope everybody had fun at retreat or had fun in school today, and I'll see you tomorrow.